गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are doing Sadachar and we are on the 7th practice that is seen which people practice in their life, and what is its connotation for a man who's doing it with doership, and what does it mean, this practice, when taken from the wise man's point of view. So here the 7th practice is Tarpanam. Tarpane swasukhenaiva Tarpane swasukhenaiva Svendriyanam pratarpanam Svendriyanam pratarpanam Manasa mana alokya Swayamatma prakashate Swayamatma prakashate. Together. Tarpane swasukhenaiva Svendriyanam pratarpanam Manasa mana alokya Swayamatma prakashate. One attains the satisfaction for the sense organs from the bliss of the self, and also by contemplating on the source of the mind one realizes the self. So here Tarpanam is first understanding that we human beings have is offering oblations to the past 3 generations of our ancestors. But there is also Tarpanam for the Rishi Tarpanam, Deva Tarpanam, all those different oblations that are offered. For what? We will look at it. And the other is to the gods, the Rishis, the mains, and this is called Tarpanam, Yama Tarpanam. The Tarpanam should be done in a particular manner. It is not a shortcut thing. Here people say, I know when I was at where I used to be before, one lady invited me to her house and she said, Swamiji, can you do the puja? I said, they wanted to do the Tarpanam. I don't do all that. No, you just do Ganesh puja. Okay, I did the Ganesh puja. Now what? No, we have done the Tarpanam and we don't believe in all this. But still, because we wanted to get something done, so you do the puja, and we have given free food to orphans, and that is our offering of oblations to the ancestors. It doesn't work that way. You giving donation to Heart Foundation, you giving donation to the Cancer Council. No, that is not. You may do that, but from the doing point of view, it has to be done in a particular manner with particular ingredients. You cannot put anything into a dal and make a curry out of it. You have to put specific things, then it will be called curry, isn't it? Similarly, when we do Tarpanam, there are the pots have to be, here Swamiji is telling that they have to be made either of gold, silver or copper, but never it should be done with earthen or iron pots. The materials required in the Tarpanam are water, kusha grass, rice, flowers, sandalwood, sesame seeds, barley, etc. And they take the sesame seeds and the rice, and the hot rice is made, and then balls are made out of it, and then they are offered to the ancestors. And in this way, and for the ancestors there are different mantras, for the rishis there are different mantras, for the devas there are different mantras, And you have to remember all that, and they have to be chanted in a particular sequence. They have all the actions that have to happen, they have to happen in a particular way, without which, if you don't do that in a particular way, then the fruit of that particular action you do not accrue. And the purpose of this tarpanam is the acceptance of the fact that I am a product of my ancestors, because without my ancestors I could not be here, and without the gods I could not be here, without the rishis, the culture that I am living, I could not have lived, and therefore this is offered to all the gods, the rishis and the ancestors. And the main purpose behind it is to appease the various powers that be in order to fulfill one's desire for wealth, progeny, property, long life, etc. This is the only reason that we do Satyanarayan Puja at home. It is not Tarpanam, but we do Puja. Why do we do it? Because we want a particular result. We do Ganesh Puja. All these kids will start doing coming and praying to Ganesha just before their exams. Rest of the time they don't remember. I'm not saying they might be doing, but it is even more intense when the exams come. But how many times have you remembered the Lord for the sake of the Lord? How many times you have remembered the rishis for the sake of the rishis, for who they were, rather than demanding something out of them? How many times you have remembered the God for who they are? Never. So there is always a hidden agenda. That, oh Lord, please remove the obstacles away from me. Oh Lord, please do not make me hate anyone. Oh Lord, may I be able to love everyone. Oh Lord, may I forgive everyone. Oh Lord, may I be non-violent. Oh Lord, take away anger, greed, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. Take all that away. There is always a demand for something. If all these demands are not there, oh Lord, please give me a realization. That also is a demand. It's a desire. So there is always some hidden agenda in the mind of a person who is doing tarpanam. He could be doing it out of fear that without the blessings of the mains, he cannot live a successful life. So he remembers, and if he doesn't do it, he feels guilty. People have come across, Swamiji, I forgot to do it last year. I forgot to do it for last 3 years. What will happen? Because that guilt is there. But for a great master, on the other hand, for a wise man, for a realized master, what is tarpanam? The wise man is continuously abiding in his own essential nature. And when a person is abiding in his own essential nature, is it possible for him to have any desire when he is abiding in his own essential nature? Not possible. Because you are already totally contented with yourself. You are totally fulfilled being who you are. Excuse me. And therefore there is no desire for him to be satisfied. Why? His attention is continuously in